You have a call from
Hey, my name is Jacob Dillard, and I'm a pedal steel guitar player.
On the Line with Robert Chapman.
So, there are several times that I'll be traveling up and down the highways and over the interstates over here in Mississippi, and I'll see a tour bus, and I always think, man, that's the life right there. Somebody's going somewhere. They're either going to Texas or they're going to the East Coast or, all the way up to Nashville or something and playing awesome music and all that kind of stuff. And you're kind of already right there in the lifestyle. So you're touring around. Who you been touring around, and what's touring looking like lately, and kind of what does the future kind of have?
So say probably I haven't been touring super long. It's been maybe since September, September of 24. I got started playing with Walker Montgomery, and it started out with just some in-town dates, but we really quickly had. I mean, they were already touring before I got picked up with them, but pretty quickly I was just thrown into the world of touring, hopping on the bus, going 4 hours, 8 hours down the road to like somewhere in Kentucky, Indiana. Sometimes we'll drive to Texas, but we're also doing a lot of flights. But it's just a lot of scheduling, and you have multiple people on the bus, so it's just a matter of keeping everybody kind of together. That's one thing I've learned with just kind of getting into what's it called? Getting into like the touring and like being on the road. Like I just didn't realize how much scheduling and how much downtime there was going to be, and it's just been really interesting seeing that. Um, but specifically talking about like Walker Montgomery, so I've mainly been touring with him, but I have gone out and played with another girl on Broadway called Lydia Simons, and we've played some stuff with her down in Georgia,
Yeah.
in East Tennessee a little bit more regional stuff. But I've really only been doing this for the past like 6 months, maybe. Like really like heavy touring. It's been just the past 6 months, so I'm still pretty new to it.
So I guess this is seeing tour buses from the outside is always pretty cool, but there's always that wondering of what does it look like on the inside? What is life like on the inside? Like, are those bunks cramped? Is it fun to kind of decompress with everybody? Is it just a lot of togetherness? Like, what's it like on a tour bus?
Um, it really depends on who you've got on the tour bus. I would say that'll determine a lot of the factors if it's going to be a good time or not. Because I mean, yeah. So we have bunks. Like on our bus, it's kind of like an RV on the front side. You know, you walk up the stairs, and you got the couches and
Yeah.
the kitchen area, and then the bunks are in the back. So I think we've got like 6 spaces total on the bus. And we've got enough spots for everybody to sleep, and then a spot for everybody to kind of sit when we're driving around. Um, but like on the bus, it's hygiene is crucial. If everybody's got to be practicing good hygiene, because
Absolutely.
if not, it's gonna be a miserable ride for everybody. Um, so that's one big thing. I mean, we're all pretty tight on the bus with Walker's Camp. I mean, several of us have other um, day jobs that we do, whether it be in the music industry or something different, unrelated. So, like, some of us are getting up in the morning, we're on our laptop, checking emails and getting in meetings and stuff early in the morning. And fortunately, we have like satellite internet, so we can connect anywhere we are on the road, because otherwise that wouldn't be possible.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I've just been able to, like I said, like all of us have kind of a different schedule in the morning time, but then once we're all up, and it just depends. Like, we're not always sleeping on the bus. There's some days that we'll actually, if we get somewhere a day early, we'll get a hotel and we'll stay in a hotel, so we'll all have a little bit more space. Um, but I prefer sleeping on the bus. I like especially when we're driving, the engine rumble is really soothing. It's almost like a like pink noise or white
Yeah,
noise playing
yeah, I'd
almost.
imagine so for sure right there. It's always taking you back to when you were a kid and falling asleep in the back seat.
Exactly.
So how did you get
Yeah.
into playing the pedal steel guitar? This can't be something that you just pick up and you say, "Hey, this is in the corner," and I've always wanted to be a pedal steel guitar player. I kind of think there had to been some sort of instrument that was kind of your gateway drug to get you to it. Where did you start musically, and kind of where did your path to the pedal steel guitar? Where did that go, and how did it take you there?
So my story kind of starts when I was younger. I really didn't um, play any instruments until, well, and I was pretty young when I started. I was probably like 5 or 6 when I started playing around on the piano a little bit, and I really started on the guitar, but technically my first stringed instrument was a mandolin.
Okay.
My dad got one when I was probably in second or third grade, and pretty much I learned like 3 chords, and then from there I picked up a guitar and learned a few more chords on top of those 3 chords, and spent a lot of like middle school going into high school just learning how to play guitar, trying to get really good at playing it. And I was doing more like rock, and I was getting into country music a little bit more in high school, but it was mostly just rock music and a little bit like a little bit of bluegrass, but I mean, for the most, it was just rock and like some gospel stuff. And then sometime in college, or not college, sometime in later high school, I got introduced to the steel guitar kind of through like the dobro, really, as I was like doing more research on bluegrass. And the thing is I knew what the dobro and the steel guitar were because I have a cousin up in North Mississippi who's played my whole life. He's played pedal steel, played dobro, but I wasn't really around them a lot, so I didn't get to ever play the instrument. I just got to see it played once or twice, but I knew what it was. So around like 11th grade, I'd say, I built a lap steel with my dad just because I was like curious about how a steel guitar worked, and I realized that it would be a lot easier to build a lap steel than like a regular electric guitar or an acoustic guitar. It required a little bit less precise machinery and stuff. So I was able to build a lap steel with my dad in just a couple hours in an afternoon, my junior year of high school, out of a 2x4 and some random guitar parts.
That's awesome.
And I think that's pretty much what ignited my passion to learn how to play the steel guitar. But I didn't get into like pedal steel until I was out, like my senior year is probably my last few months of high school. I believe it was like on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or something. We found one online that was a really good deal, and my mom ended up getting it for me so I could learn how to play it. And within like a couple of months, I started picking it up, and there was a band in town, the Locals. We used to record some music together, and it was their first song on the album, By the Sea. I actually played the pedal steel on that, and that was the first song I ever recorded steel on. First song I ever played steel on, I think, at all, was just the intro to their song on that album we were doing. And I guess, yeah, that was like junior or senior year. So that was right when I got that steel guitar and just started learning how to play chords. So I just played the 2 chords that I knew how to play.
And so right now, because you're in grad school, is that right?
Yes, I'm in grad school.
So if that's the end of high school, that's maybe what, 6 years ago?
Yeah, it's 5.5
Okay.
from now.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, this is all within about 5 years. So I still haven't been playing very long when compared to like other people that have been playing their whole lives. But yeah, so like around that time, I started learning some more chords, and then I went to college. My first year at college, I went to Northeast Mississippi Community College, and they've got a program there called Campus Country.
Yeah, that's up there in Booneville. My brother played baseball up there. That's the metropolis of Booneville.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really small town, and I really loved the pace of life there. And all I did while I was there in Booneville was just practice music and eat dough burgers at my aunt's dough burger stand.
That's right. I've been to the dough burger place. That's some good stuff.
Oh yeah, it's great stuff. I love it up there. I miss going down there. But yeah, so I spent my first year of college in Boonville, but it got cut off halfway through because of COVID,
Right.
and so I had to come back to Clinton. But my first semester, it was a full semester there, and we did two different performances. You can kind of think of them kind of like how the attaché reviews are, except for it'd be two a semester instead of one.
Okay.
Um, so it'd be like a performance put on at the school. It'd be on Thursday nights, and like the whole music department would come, and like a lot of people from the school, which it's not a huge school, so it wasn't like a huge crowd, but we would have the auditorium pretty packed out. Um, and we would do 20, I would say, be 20, 25 songs in the show.
Oh, so
Um,
it's like a full-fledged number. It's not, you practiced 4 or 5 and you do a little recital. That was a full-fledged show.
Yeah, it was a full-fledged show for sure, and I played on the majority of the songs. I probably only sat out on two or three, so I would be playing at least 20 songs on each show. And we'd have to learn 20 new songs for the next one. So it'd be 40 songs in a semester we'd have to learn probably at least. Um, and with all that being said, we were learning them off of Nashville number charts,
Yeah.
which that's something that was a little new to me. I knew the basics of them from just some stuff learning when we were in attaché. We talked a little bit in number system, but we didn't really use it as much as we did in campus country. So I had to, while learning how to play pedal steel guitar, I also had to learn how to read these number charts. And so I was just learning a lot my freshman year of college about music, and the number charts. I mean, they really informed me how to play the pedal steel. It was it was a little easier for me to play them from numbers instead of learning them through the chords. For some reason, it helped me like learn the chord shapes
Yeah.
of the guitar differently. So that all being said, yeah, I picked up pedal steel, and after that first year of college, I moved to Nashville or Murfreesboro, just outside of Nashville, and I've been up here since 2020. And I just started picking up gigs with different artists that were local from Mississippi. While I was down there, I did start playing with some local acts in Tupelo. But then after that, I moved up to Nashville and just started getting in with some smaller artists around here that did indie rock, country, even like a punk band. I've played steel in several different bands with different sounds, so I haven't just done traditional country stuff with it. But and I really like that because I come from the guitar, like electric guitar, where I was playing a lot of rock stuff. So that's where my knowledge base in guitar licks and stuff really, I've got more rock stuff than I do country, I would say.
Yeah,
So
so that's kind of,
that's how it all.
one of the questions, kind of skipping around of all the, the questions that I sent you, but, you know, playing pedal steel with various bands of different types of genres. I mean, you're a 20-year-old kid. I mean, I'm 40, so I still think I'm a child sometimes. But if I could go back to when I'm between 20 and 25 years old and think that, I'm really laying down the firm foundation to tour across America as a musician, I mean, you're right at that prime time. There can't be many trustworthy 20-year-old kids that are so good and so prolific with the pedal steel guitar. How has that opened things up, other than just playing some local shows? How has it truly opened up? And then kind of, I guess this isn't part of what I sent you, but you know, that dynamic between you and other artists. How do you get in with the confidence to kind of move in and say, hey, I can play with these nationally recording artists and tour with you?
That's a great question. Man, it does take a lot of confidence, and I will say, the first couple of years up here, I had imposter syndrome. Just playing steel, I didn't feel like I was a steel player. I'm a guitar player that's faking it. But I've really been just dedicating the past few years to learning the instrument, and it's given me a lot more confidence in that. And I'm not the youngest person. I've met younger people out that are playing other instruments. So like I at least know there are some younger guys out here that are doing it, but as far as being trustworthy, yeah, it's hard to, in general, just to find people that are going to be, I mean, professional, on time, and trustworthy. I mean, people that are twice my age, I've met people that aren't good at doing that. So I don't think it's just an age thing on that. But being young and being a steel player has definitely it's definitely come with a lot of. There's been a lot of good things that have come from it. I've gotten to play with several different acts. Like I said, in town stuff. I played with a guy named Mike Ferris at Third and Lindsley not too long ago, probably just a month ago, and I think it was just last weekend he was playing at the Ryman, and his band was a lot of guys from Muscle Shoals, and I'd never met any of the guys from Muscle Shoals, but I had a lot of mutual friends with them from people up in Tupelo.
Yeah.
So I've just kind of started realizing how small world the music scene is and how connected all these people are from Nashville, Muscle Shoals, and Tupelo. Like, everybody kind of knows. There's like 1 or 2 degrees of separation between everybody, almost, it seems. And that's been really cool to see. And just also, like, since I'm the youngest, not the youngest, but one of the youngest steel players that I've seen on the scene out here right now, I do get a decent amount of calls. A lot of the calls I get are for recording work, but I do get calls for going out and playing live. And I mean, it's a good thing that I'm young, like, to fit in with some of the younger acts, because a lot of times, like, guys are looking for a steel player, and the only guys they can find are going to be guys that are in their 60s, or even if they're not in their 60s, they might be in their they might be in their 40s, but they're at that point in life where they're like, all right, we're not really trying to get out of the house and tour for all these long stints.
Right.
We're not, we have families, or back pain or whatever it may be.
Right.
And those factors, and I'm younger. I don't have all of those responsibilities and factors weighing on me right now. So that is something that I've seen a lot of people are like, oh, like, we need to get you in while you're young, like, get you in touring, and people are, so I mean, that's been something for sure that I look at, and I'm like, all right, while I'm young, I should definitely take advantage of not being tied down to anything,
Right.
not being, so,
Well, and I think I saw one time online, maybe it was on a 60-minute special or something, about the fact that the pedal steel is almost becoming a dying art, because you've got so many of those guys that were, really, really heavy playing, traveling in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s country, loved a pedal steel guitar, but like you said, they're now 60, 65, 70 years old, and so it's not something you just pass down and pick up at your local church, although it can be. It just seems like, it's just not something that you move on. So being young like you are, I guess, gives you that advantage, like you said.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm a bit unique. I was always into older music, so I was always listening to that older stuff. And I mean, there are other people out there in my age group that are like me. Like, for example, like Zach Top, the country artist.
Yeah.
Seems like he listened to a lot of the same stuff I did growing up, and he's not much older than I am. So I know that there are people that that are in this next generation that listen to all that stuff, and I believe that, like, it for a while has been a dying art, but I've got a feeling that it's coming back. It's got a renaissance right now, because I've met several people that are like 20, 21 that are picking up the steel guitar, whether it be a lap steel or a pedal steel, and trying to play like some of the older style swing country stuff.
Yeah.
As well as like some of the modern stuff too. But I do think it's coming back. It's not as popular of an instrument as like the guitar by any means, and there's several factors. I mean, it's a big instrument. It's not super cheap, so the barrier of entry is a little higher, but it's still an instrument that fascinates a lot of people, and it's just the ones who are able to get their hands on one, I guess, and be able to stick with it are the ones that can keep it going. And but I do believe that there is a second renaissance of steel players that's going to come out in the next few decades.
See, that's
It'll
good.
take some time.
That's something I'm looking forward to, because I really do enjoy that kind of music, and so that's good. So we talked earlier a little bit about touring, and then you mentioned getting some other opportunities to record. So like I said, a lot in the music business, there are other avenues that are not just touring that can also be lucrative and keep you employed. Everything from recording to studio work to even producing and just making those connections. What have those opportunities been like for you?
So that's kind of my bread and butter. That's what I'm doing most of the time. Is focused on stuff outside of the touring, because touring, like, that's only weekends right now for me, pretty much. So I'll be gone like 3 days of the week, but the other 4 days I'm at home. And so what I'm doing since 2020, when I really started playing steel, I got on Fiverr, which is an online freelance platform, and I started advertising myself there as a steel player. And since I started, I've recorded on definitely over 150, if not 200, tracks for people online, just online alone.
Yeah.
And I believe I've got, like, I think I've recorded. So it's international. I've recorded with like people in 17 different countries now.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, like, so a lot of Europe, Central America. I mean, I've touched pretty much every continent, except for Antarctica. So,
I'm about to say, if we hear
It's been-
any pedal steel coming from Antarctica, we know that it's taken off. You talk about a resurgence.
yeah, it's pretty funny though that, and I really, like, I never expected it to really be anything that I would get work from other countries, but I would say at least 40% of the clients that I have on there come from other countries like Sweden or Norway, Germany. I mean, like, there's, like I said, like, at least 17 different countries that I've recorded music for people from those countries, and it's really just, it fascinates me how many other countries are interested in country music and
Yeah.
the steel guitar. But that's just one of the avenues, is recording steel online, and I've also got my name out a little bit in the Nashville scene just through, like, playing shows with people and working with bands, just as far as, like, recording steel on tracks, and several people through school. I've done a lot of stuff with people here at MTSU, just recording in the studios. People just call me in to track on a few songs, and I play more than just the steel. I play the dobro, mandolin, I play the guitar, and the banjo a little bit as well. But so I'll just kind of come in and be an auxiliary player, whatever is needed on the song. I know how to play enough chords to get by, so I'll just sit down, do a few passes on the song, and then we'll call it a day. But so that's like what I'm doing most of the time. And then if I ever have the time, I am a producer and songwriter as well. So I'll record some of the stuff that I write. And then I'll try to get some clients. I've got several people I'm working with right now, and I'm doing some stuff for my final project for school, as I'm graduating at the end of this summer. So I'm doing some music videos, and it's all focused on the steel guitar on this project. But I got 5 different songs that I'm doing with. Right now I've got 3 different artists. So a couple of the artists, we got 2 songs, but they're songs from all these different genres: R&B, country, rock, bit more jazz and blues, but just showcasing the steel guitar in each genre and how it can fit to each sound. And what I'm doing is I've gotten these songs together. Different people have written the songs. I wrote one of them, and I just, like, get the guys and the girls together, and we'll come together and, like, rehearse the song, kind of pre-produce it. That's what I really like to do, is working with people on just getting the parts together.
Yeah.
And before the song's ever recorded, and then once we get in the studio, we record it, we listen to it, we're like, oh, maybe, there's something in this little section that feels a little empty. Maybe we need to add something. The guitar needs to do a little something busier here, or the vocals maybe do, like, some backgrounds here or something, like those little things. That's what I really like to do. I like to add stuff to songs that are just being built, or even like doing cover songs and, like, re-engineering it, recutting the song, but doing it in a different way, a different approach. That's really what I love doing more than anything, is just being in the studio and producing. So, but I'm split between producing, recording on other people's songs, and then going out on the road and doing touring stuff. That's
Yeah.
pretty much where I'm at right now in
Well,
life.
there's a guy, I think his name is Chris Stapleton, who does a whole lot of that all back and forth. So if it was a little successful for him, I don't see why it couldn't be successful for you.
Yeah.
So meeting a lot of people at MTSU where you currently are, building that network that you get to network down the road, move towards whatever you want to do, finding different passions, finding different talents with different instruments, wrapping up your degree. What kind of plans do you have for your future? It's always great when you're graduating undergrad and then you're like, well, I've got graduate school to go into. It's kind of that, we can put the real future on hold, but you're kind of about to jump feet first into it, which you've already built some of that runway. But what is what does the future look like for you? Those realistic goals and then those shoot for the moon goals and then everything in between.
So, like short-term future, I'm definitely going to be getting more into the touring, since I'm still in my early 20s. I went to grad school, so I'd have the flexibility, the option to teach in the future if I
Okay.
wanted to go teach at a university somewhere. But that's kind of always been more of a backup / like retirement plan for me,
Yeah.
or just something I would do. But no matter what, I didn't want to just go out of school and immediately begin teaching. I wanted to get more hands-on experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
So my goal is to just continue touring with Walker. He's picking up more and more dates, and then playing in town as well. So I play during the weekdays. What a lot of the touring acts do, they'll while we're in town, we'll pick up a few shifts on Broadway, and just fill those in on our weekdays when we're in town. So I might do a couple of those here and there, but I would really my dream would be to actually be, while I'm in town working in the studios, getting called to come and do some recording steel, or getting called to come and produce records. That would really be what I would like to be doing, more than just playing all the time, like playing live music. But all that being said, I've also looked into possibly just since my degree is a bit more in audio engineering, I've looked into also possibly getting just some kind of part-time work, doing sound, but mainly just a lot of these things are just to get my foot in the door, just to kind of network more with Nashville, because there's kind of a saying here in Nashville. Nashville's a 10-year town. It takes 10 years to kind of really get established and to get that to get to a point of success where you're able to make money doing music and not have to have a second job, and I guess live more comfortably. And I've been up here about 5 years now, so, and not in Nashville, but around Nashville and the surrounding area. So I'll still count it because I've been playing around and I've been doing music professionally since I got up here. So I still say on that time clock, I've got another 5 years to climb the ladder, I guess you'd say. With steel guitar, it is a little different. I have gotten to play some really. I have gotten some really cool opportunities to play on some cool stages, and I'm just really fortunate to have that ability to do all of this. I mean, I really, like I said, last year I wasn't really playing any big stages. I was just doing things that are similar to what Broadway is, just doing bars and honky tonks. And then when Walker picked me up, I mean, we ended up playing Talladega last year, and there were over 30,000 people just all in that middle area. We opened for Jake Owen, and that was, to this day, one of the biggest shows I've played yet. And it just, I mean, seriously, a month before, or maybe 2 months before, I was just, sitting in class, studying things about sound waves, and next thing you know it, I'm out here living the dream. And it's still all unreal to me. It still doesn't feel like it's my life, like it's something that I'm actually doing, but it is. And it's It's been really cool, and I mean, I'm just small town Mississippi boy, and that's actually the good thing about a lot of us in the band is we're all from small towns. The guitar player is also from Mississippi. He's from Kosciuszko, and then the other two guys in the band that are from the same state are from Kentucky. Walker and Nick, the bass player, and then our drummer. I think he's from West Virginia, but we're all pretty simple country folk. And we all get along pretty well, and I think that really contributes to our band dynamic, how we all can get along on the bus so well.